So the three questions are, number one, where's the endpoint? Number two, can I express my intention without tension? Number three, why should he? Some of my most commonly asked questions are about how to deal with low energy horses. Now, notice I didn't say lazy. This is because lazy implies that there's something that the horse should be doing when they're not. Now, horses should be grazing and hanging out doing whatever they want. So it's really up to me to inspire my horse to put in effort for something that I asked him to do. Now, these low energy horses can be challenging because just as with most things in life, it's difficult to course correct without some movement happening. These horses can seem uncomplicated, but there's a real art to riding them. Now, there are a few different ways that a horse can express low energy. Some are just born that way. Others have been caused to be this way, either by becoming bored and uninspired, or they've learned to be economical, probably because they've been overworked regularly. Kind of think of a school horse that's used for many hours a day, right? They learn to save their energy. Some horses have been desensitized. Now, these horses can be masters of making you feel bad or guilty for making them move. Now, keep in mind, they can't make you feel bad. Only you can make yourself feel bad. But then riders end up desensitizing or boring them even more with their ineffectiveness or lack of creativity. So with all horses, we need to keep our emotional fitness. But with these horses, frustration can really sneak up on you. With riders only getting interesting after getting mad. Now, another kind of low energy horse could be one that's defensive or braced. In this case, they're not necessarily really low energy, as they're sometimes putting a lot of energy into not going. Now, some of the scariest horses that I have ridden were ones that wouldn't move for exactly this reason. With these horses, it's less about getting them to go, and it's more about trying to remove the original cause for that defensiveness and brace. And that's going to take a lot of patience, timing, and feel. Now, some horses express low energy because they're conflicted. The riders are saying go and not go at the same time. Now, a lot of times when I've talked to students with low energy horses, they often will tell me that their horse won't go, but then later on in the story they mention that they were once bucked off a horse, or maybe bucked off that horse, and now they're scared. So the rider wants them to go, but not too much. They really want them to go, kinda. So if your horse is stuck for this reason, he really is actually a good boy. Because some horses can get really nervous when there's mixed signals like that. So these are all really different types of horses. But I wanted to give you 3 questions to ask yourself that can really help you no matter which type of low energy horse you have. So the 3 questions are, number 1, where's the endpoint? Number 2, can I express my intention without tension? Number 3, why should he? So let's look at each of those separately. Question number 1, where's the endpoint? Low energy horses need a destination. They really want peace and stillness, so use this as their reward. I remember watching dressage lessons and hearing teachers say, okay, take a break, but don't let them fall asleep. Keep them going, keep them marching. This is going to work against you. Do let him take a little nap and a little break. Let him know that the sooner he does this one little thing you're asking, the sooner he can rest again. These horses will work really hard to get to a place of rest. So always have a destination or endpoint in mind. Then gradually build how much more he is willing to offer. One of my general rules is never sustain something that he hasn't willingly offered in the first place. Surprise these horses with destinations that arrive sooner than they were thinking. Sometimes the best way to motivate a horse to go is ask him to stop when he wasn't expecting it. And he'll be like, hey, I was trying to go. You go, oh, no problem. So the really economical or bored ones will love this game. You want to spend more time resting and less time doing. Question number 2. Can I express my intention without tension? Now, relaxation is the key. Whether you need to find a way to relax from your fear, those of you who are asking your horses to go while secretly hoping he doesn't really go too much, or your relaxation may be about not pushing, to relax your legs. If you push, you're tightening, and if you tighten, you're going to block him. So you want to be able to be very matter-of-fact about any aids or support that you might need to give him, such as a little tap on the butt. So can you use your lower leg while keeping your seat and your thighs relaxed? Can you use your stick without bracing in your middle or getting mad? Can you think, yes, you are really going to go, without becoming frustrated and angry first? I love the analogy of a hot walker. You know, the hot walker comes along, and if the horse goes too slow, it bumps him in the butt, and the horse moves. Done. Simple. It doesn't keep chasing the horse, but it doesn't negotiate either. Sometimes, if you ask your horse to go, and then he doesn't go, the best thing to do is completely relax for a moment. You don't want to get caught pushing. Just wait. I once saw a 6-foot-tall guy, event rider, try to push a horse into a water obstacle with big spurs on. Then the trainer came up and started to get behind him with a lunge whip. Now she was saying, don't push, just let him look at the water. Yet the rider was squeezing hard with spurs, and she was waving a lunge whip behind him. No go. So I got on, and as soon as I felt him block and brace, I just relaxed and I waited. In a few moments, he went in the water. So remember, with a defensive braced horse, you have to remove the reason for the brace. In this case, the reason he stopped was that he felt pushed. Braced horses build up more tension when you push them, and that can be what tends to lead to the explosion. So you want to play with your aids, leading to relaxation. Focus on your horse becoming open to the suggestion rather than on making him do it. Question number 3, why should he? So remember, all horses should be doing is hanging out and grazing. So why should he is a really legitimate question. Try to see it from his perspective. And yes, in order to have control, we need to install a certain amount of, because I said so, that's why. You know, I sometimes will get and keep a horse in a higher gear for a session just to prove that I can, but we want to use that technique very sparingly. Most of the time, the doorway to the real answer is small and much more subtle. So think about what's in it for him. Rest? Reward? Will it be fun? Will it be interesting? I once hid feed tubs with food in them around my property. The first tub was hard to get to. He's like, I don't want to go, whatever, you know, and then we found it, we found the food. By the second tub, the horse was like, hey, this actually might work out really well for me. And when I asked him to go again to get to the third tub, he just stepped eagerly into a brisk trot, was like, oh, where's the next one? Make sure that you don't get greedy with these types of horses. So often, it takes so much to get them going that then people think, great, now that he's going, let's quick do all the hard stuff that I usually don't get a chance to practice. Now, this usually will make the horse regret offering it in the first place. And now you've actually made the problem worse. So think about, why should he? It's a teaspoon of because you asked, and several gallons of because it's awesome, it's interesting, it's rewarding for him, it's fun. And the sooner the horse does it, the sooner he gets rewarded. Prioritize a willingness to apply effort over precise, correct results. Energy to me is a willingness to apply effort. Don't mistake energy with speed. Play with willingness to apply effort and openness to the suggestion in everything you do, not just in trying to go faster. These horses can change, and they can be the most amazing partners because they don't often waste their energy on all that silly stuff. But they can rise to the occasion when you ask them.